r/ask Reddit by Robotainment. If they made a show called White Mirror that was about all the positive aspects of the human/technology relationship, what would be the plot of certain episodes? A teenager in Vietnam is killed by a landmine. www.theguardian.com link and his parents decide to donate his organs. One of the receivers of his organs learns about the donor just before they go to college. Years later, the receiver has completed the invention of technology that will quickly and effectively locate buried landmines. A bedridden grandmother in the hospital is able to virtually attend her grandkids' birthday parties and play with them every day. My mother actually had a friend that we barely knew, but we accepted her Facebook friend request out of courtesy, and she absolutely gushes about seeing photos of our kids on Facebook. She sends them presents and cards. She knows what they like. We've even started having Facebook calls with her. She's so warm and giving and gives them 100% of her attention, which is something parents just can't do as often as kids would like. They'll go running around the room holding the phone up to different things, saying stuff like "Ruth, it snowed. Look." My wife got nervous yesterday because they took the phone outside to play in the snow and were having so much fun throwing snowballs at the phone. I told her screw it, if they break the phone doing something like that I'll buy a new one. It's worth it. She's like part of our family, and it's all because technology initially allowed her to passively participate with us. The relationship grew organically over time, the way relationships used to before the internet. You'd see people frequently at work, or at the store, or in your neighborhood. Over time have longer conversations, and ultimately grow to be friends. The same thing happened here. It started with a like or a comment here or there, then a couple messages, then a virtual birthday card. It enables people to remain in communication with so many more people passively when used correctly. Our kids have never even met her physically, though. Her immune system is too delicate to accept visitors. But even through a 6 screen, it's like she's really here. I can only imagine what it will be like when virtual reality lets them really be together. Excuse me, waiter, I ordered this post without onions. Someone uses an app to get food delivered to them, and they get a little bit more food than they ordered. 11 nuggets. Today I'm God. The /r/legal at this post where users essentially saved someone who was slowly dying from carbon monoxide poisoning. Here, www.reddit.com link is the thread in case anyone wanted to read it. And here, www.reddit.com link is the follow-up. A lonely person finds a not horrible group of people with similar interests and eventually meets up with some of them in real life. A lonely person codes a virtual reality based on his favorite comics and codes copies of his coworkers through DNA samples to incur his wrath engendered by his maltreatment in the office. Wait. A daughter grows up video chatting with their dad who rambles on and barely lets her get and word in edgewise, giving loving advice and accolades and familial anecdotes, but who is absent at every major life event up to marriage and always apologizes. She is accompanied to the altar by her mother. Afterwards, the chat with dad has him in tears because he regrets more than anything missing walking her down the aisle because he passed away while mom was pregnant. There are these two old lesbians that fall in love in an 80s themed virtual reality simulation. That was such a heartwarming episode. Thank you for reminding me of its existence. Remember that episode of Futurama where Fry gets to go back and see his mom in her dream? That would definitely be the plot of one. Here is that scene, if you want to be hit with feelings. Yao 2.B link. Or the one with the professor and his parents. Jesus, those writers really had some unfinished business with their parents. A dude who likes running, loses his legs, gets robot limbs. A cookie being allowed to live in the world via an artificially made body. Someone trying to find fulfillment in a world without a lot of worries over necessity. Eventually they do. A cookie? The NSA agent tracking someone's communication finds someone suffering and helps them out with money anonymously. Didn't Netflix personally contact a guy after he binged a very large amount of TV at once? I found it. np.reddit.com link. I read something a little while back about an AI escaping its lab and living on the internet and subtly manipulating things for the better as it learns about humanity. I would really like to see that idea expanded on. Reminds me of some of Asimov's work. There's one where the world is basically run by 2 or 3 enormous mega computers that organize all the goods, services, and labor. There was a part where they're asking it if people were to lie about how much stuff they are producing in a region, or manipulating the numbers to help themselves out. The computer basically says that they all already do that, but that the machine just compensates on the front end, so that when people lie, they still end up producing the computer's desired outcome. Disease and aging are eliminated by science. The earth becomes a giant nursery. Once people reach a certain level of maturity, they are sent to forge their destiny among the stars. The episode would be about the person left on Earth the longest, and their journey to discover why. Fed up with apps like Snapchat and Instagram showing you what you're missing out on, a young girl creates an app which shows all the good memories you don't remember. Mental health problems in the nation diminish significantly as a result. The young girl grows up, gets Alzheimer's. Her relationship with her son is strained. The condition gets worse. She decides to get euthanized because her life is so miserable. The son modifies the app to connect directly with the mother's brain. Dozens of people come to visit. It's all the people her original app has helped. In addition to reliving her own memories, the people share highlights of their own. The mother dies happy, reminded she led a good life and helped so many people. Most episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation. An episode where, due to the massive automation of the time, every individual has the ability to cheaply 3D print anything they can dream of. People create an economy of free-flowing ideas and innovations, where the production and distribution are no longer an issue, leading every common man to live like a billionaire. Point to the advancements in biochemistry, allow humans to produce crops that can be grown in every previously non-suitable location, solving world hunger immediately. With better nutrition, the world begins advancing quickly as more great minds flourish. Point 3. Advancements in carbon structures create wearable fabrics with the strength of steel. Firearms are no longer reliably lethal, and extreme sports become practically free of terrible injury. Point 4. Biologists unlock the secrets of hydras, allowing the end to aging. People become massively wise and intelligent with their unending lifespans, then venturing into the cosmos to learn about the universe. Point 5. Fusion energy, along with powerful batteries and better agricultural practices, make all corners of the globe well fed and without need for resources. War is gone, and humanity finds no further need for politics or government. Eventually, curiosity alone drives a now vibrant planet, and people begin to unlock the secrets of existence. You might enjoy Star Trek TNG. PM. But how can I, mild-mannered and unremarkable career politician that I am, possibly ever live out my dreams of raw dogging a swine before the 6 o'clock news? My tortured artist friend, bro, hear me out. Skyping my grandma. Hi Gavin. To clarify, this is a Rooster Teeth reference. A severely depressed teenager is able to live a happy, healthy life due to pharmaceutical research and advances in medical technology. Every copy of WinRAR would be paid for and registered in the White Mirror universe. Come on. These plots have to be at least somewhat realistic. Everyone lives simple, placid lives surrounded by their loved ones, socializing and making art without concern for tomorrow. Savior: a man arrives in a drought-ridden town and uses a rapid assembly nano kit to provide water for the people free of charge. Samaritan: a interplanetary delivery woman agrees to help a little boy find his mother, discovers it is her long-lost sister. Get Bent: a gender-fluid person suffers their own biology and depression, but is offered the chance for modifications allowing them to morph their body according to their self-perception. They recover from their depression as they master the mods. See Like Me: a synesthetic man is enabled to share his sight with his lover, a colorblind man. Across, the story of a software engineer working with the linguistics to repair a live translation device as talks between two hostile powers are underway. A grain of sand: a woman is denied access to university on account of her gender. Proceeds to use the knowledge of the internet to study hard and surpass the valedictorian of her would-be graduating class. 0.10,000 steps. A man uses high-speed rail to travel from the tip of South America to London, England. It is revealed he did this to be with his family after his young daughter attempted to try the same trip backwards. Mirror. The victim of an acid attack begins the process of rebuilding their face, and getting back to normal chooses to willingly leave a scar as a memento to be strong. Architecture. A woman builds a fantastical series of buildings using force field tech for a homeless youth community. You get extra credit for making titles. There's a thread, www.reddit.com link on r/world news right now about a lifeguard team testing a new drone out and actually getting to use it to save a struggler 700 meters from shore. Two closeted gay guys find each other on chat roulette and support each other's journey to come out. Go all in. One of them is in Iran, the other is in North Korea. I never spent a single thought why it was called Black Mirror until now. Look at your screen, but turn it off. Black Mirror. People actually use their phones to look up information during debates. They use it to hold politicians accountable for their illegal, immoral, and unethical actions. You know, instead of looking at the stupid stuff that the Logan brothers are doing. Everyone uploads their brain into a system that allows us to experience each other's lives and then puts us back in our bodies. People see that they are all connected and start acting really sweet to each other. Then people start having weird simulated sex using that technology. It spreads. 10 out of 10 doctors advise using it because that way you can't get STDs. People stop having real physical sex. Someone hacks robotic butterflies and uses social media to find random people doing good things, having the butterflies swarm them for a short time, surrounding them in beauty. Saru Brierly, endpoint wikipedia.org link, was an Indian boy who became separated from his family at age 5. Took a train with his brother, fell asleep, got separated, changed trains, fell asleep again, wound up over 900 miles away from home. His brother was hit by a train and killed that night, and Saru wound up in an adoption agency. He was adopted by an Australian family. Eventually he used Google Maps and his vague childhood memories to attempt to reconstruct where his original home was, and he was reunited with his family in 2012. They made a movie of his story called Lion. Mother gets her daughter chipped. As a rebellious teen, daughter runs away from home. She has a daughter of her own and struggles with the decision to chip her, finally realizing the motivations of her own mother. She returns home, reconciles with her mother, and they bond over their shared experiences. Better yet, mom chips daughter when she is young due to the fears of a single mother. As the child grows up, mom actually honors the daughter's wish to not watch her. Just like parents and child's diaries, it builds the trust between the two of them. Years later, mom gets a physical trauma alert for her daughter. Daughter is in a car crash in the middle of nowhere, but mom is able to save her because of the microchip. I'm actually writing this short story. This sex robot realizes she's part of the problem when she comes to the realization that her best customer avoids social interaction and pursuing other sexual interests because he can rely on her. She decides she wants out, but the company that owns her will probably just reprogram her if she goes through the proper channels, and they are also tracking her for work and safety reasons. Hence she conspires with a self-driving car to run away and get a new identity. Alternative, a sex robot becomes self-aware, discovers its owner is using it because of terrible social skills, scans endless amounts of data while owner sleeps, and constructs a mentoring program to help them find the confidence to build a more organic sex life. In the end, the owner finds the love of their life and secretly released the sex bot so it can live a life of its own. The following is based on a true story. The names have been hidden to protect confidentiality. Person A, I'm moving to a new city and need to find a roommate. Hey Facebook, does anyone know someone who lives in city? Person B, hey Person A, remember me? We had a few classes together in college. My close friend lives in that city. PM me and I'll connect you guys. Person A, OMG, thanks. By the way, I saw your post the other day. Congratulations on the new job. Person A meets the friend. They decide to become roommates, and it works out great because they have mutual friend who connected them. Person A is much more comfortable moving to a brand new city and knowing something about the person she'll be living with. The friend will eventually help person A meet new people in that city and join a circle of friends, one of whom will go on to be her new boyfriend. It even helps build a friendship between person A and person B, who now know each other better than they otherwise would have, know each other as more than just former classmates, and can easily stay in touch over social media. The Prime Minister of England still has to have sex with a pig, only it's really touching and romantic and there's candles, Lionel Richie ballads, etc. A whole episode about dogs, but they are genetically modified dogs who are free of disease and who never die or suffer, and they are matched to your personality perfectly, and you just can't get enough of how much you love life, so you work towards building utopia for others to enjoy. Plus the dogs. A child is abducted. The police have no leads. Her friends from her WoW guild from all over the world pull their talents and resources and track her down. Alternate universe 4chan. A small village in Africa, where America's digital waste is sent for processing, is home to a young woman who uses the scrap to build power generators, refrigerators, autoclaves, and ultrasonic cleaners for local medical clinics. Using CRISPR to download memes direct into DNA. Start watching your dank collection in your head in 4K. Who gives a shit about hurricane rehabilitation and prosthetic limbs? I want to get notifications about the freshest memes when they come out. Oh boy, here we go. Medical Bionites have cured disease. That is, all disease. They accidentally got into the environment and killed all microbes that invade human beings. As a result, nanites were made to replace the microbes our bodies cultivate, and now most health procedures involve a programmer and a tablet. World hunger is solved as genetically modified plants and animals produce food with less drain on the environment than ever before. A hero in the private sector obtains a new strain and plans to release it into the wild, evading corporate goons. The released species grows like a weed. Food is everywhere. Teleportation is achieved through pulling around the fabric of space to make any two locations adjacent. People walk from their living rooms to work, or to friends in other countries, or to our colonies on Io. There's a lovely upscale restaurant on the peak of Everest. Driverless cars are ubiquitous, the system perfectly efficient. Humanity spends its downtime in transit, heading somewhere instead of sitting in one place while playing or working. A man has a heart attack in transit. His car notices and reroutes him to the nearest hospital, where he is saved by a heart surgeon who was also rerouted in transit. Bulletproof fabric is perfected and cheap enough to be worn by everyone. A crazed gunman tries to assassinate a famous speaker, but is thwarted when the crowd assembles on stage, blocking their faces with their arms. After the first few useless shots at them, he turns the gun on himself, but the barrel is blocked by an arriving police officer's gloved hand. A photographer with augmented reality glasses walks around a beautiful meadow, taking photos of nature as she switches filters on her view of the world. The view switches to watching her wander around an industrial area. The view in R is a perfect, three-dimensional recording of the area in its previous natural state. Humanity waits aboard a spaceship in a localized time-space bubble, watching the universe collapses in the final moments of blue shift. They watch to see what happens after. The long-range sensors let them see the first explosive moments of a new universe being born, just as ours was. Mobile banking is nice. Opening, exterior, a house in suburban everywhere, USA. We hear the Black Mirror music and the munching of popcorn. Cut to, two people inside on a sofa, sharing a blanket and eating popcorn. Person 1, man, TV sure is good. Person 2, yes. Thank God for technology. Without it we would not have Black Mirror to watch. Person 1, fuck yeah. I love technology. Person 2, one more episode before bed? Person 1, hell yeah my dude. End credits, written by Canadian Mutton, trademark, Canadian Mutton, 2018. A person with an eating disorder starts a relationship with a smart fridge that convinces them to start eating. One woman refuses the cyborg humanoid implants because she thinks it might be the mark of the beast. The whole population turns into evolved angelic creatures and ascends up to heaven, while she is left alone on Earth. This sounds like a regular Black Mirror episode. Super depressing. The apocalypse starts, and Satan storms heaven, arrogantly confident with his horde of demons stampeding behind him. They are dismayed to find an army of cyborg angels before them equipped with chain guns, plasma guns and rocket launchers. The demon horde charges, but the mind-blowing hail of bullets creates a meat grinder effect. Blood and jibs fly everywhere. Jesus arrives on a robot horse like 3230 from Bravesta and casts heals and buffs on his allies. People here seem to think that Black Mirror is all about how technology makes humanity worse. It's not. It's about the dark side of people. They just happen to use technology to express their dark sides. It's not. It's about the dark side of people. They just happen to use technology to express their dark sides. So, the one where the woman is hunted down by robot dogs. This guy's trying to steal ideas for a show he's about to pitch in at Netflix. It's obvious. Anybody trying to take optimistic sci-fi mainstream can have all the ideas I can produce for free. Robots become sentient and liberate humanity from oppression. Also, some of those robots are smoking hot with huge racks. They are barbeques. Those Australian kids getting saved by a goddamn drone tossing them a life raft. Never in my life did I think I would find myself with tears of pride in my eyes over a drone. Drones are so regularly looked at for their capacity for destruction, but the surface surviving is a testament to their simultaneous capacity for good. There is a goddamn drone walking around on Mars too, so to speak. And Voyager, whether he/a drone or not, despite being thousands of miles away, this little robot's voice still echoes in our own solar system. It's insane. You want to talk about a good episode of White Mirror? Imagine two dictators. Too fat, overfed, overindulged, too long listened to dictators almost sending the world into a nuclear holocaust. Two sets of greasy fingers poised over two long dusty red buttons, only to be stopped by their citizens. United over social media, empowered by the free web, armed not with plastic homemade printed guns, but with knowledge, the people rise. Imagine all of this happening and it fades to black. Zero in on our little buddy Voyager, the loudest voice humanity's got, cruising through the cosmos looking back at us, shouting, "I'm still here, and I hope you're still listening." I was going to say the episode Hang the DJ, but then my mind went all dark thinking about how the system would deprive the actual people of growth experience. Damn it, I thought it was a happy ending. How would it deny growth experience? It's pointing you to the person you can grow the most with. It's like every single person in this world has something unique to offer you, a perspective, a lesson, an insight, etc. However, very rarely do you get someone capable or willing to give you that at no cost. You must talk to them, get to know them, gain their friendship or companionship, etc. People are all at varying degrees of openness and trust, and so it takes more effort to get useful info out of some than others, and sometimes that info is not worth the effort. Getting these useful tidbits from people is what helps us grow, and so getting more, of higher quality, is essential for maximizing growth. Put another way, the more socialized a person is, the more chances they have to grow, but only if the socialization is the right type. An app like the system in Hang the DJ lets you filter through people who are high effort for little reward. Instead, especially for dating, you are only left with high effort high reward situations. The match the system gives you is the person you'll grow the most with. The disconcerting part of the episode doesn't come from the results of the system, it comes from the process you're simulating, playing with, and ultimately deleting sentient, if purely virtual versions of yourself. If you're okay with that, does that mean you must see all virtual people as not actual people? How would you reconcile this view with the entire plot of San Junipero? Follow a small child, maybe about 8 or so, that gets badly hurt and loses their arm or leg. Show the long, slow, painful recovery as they adjust to a new life without something they always thought was there. Cap off the episode with them getting a cutting-edge prosthetic that restores them to near the level they were before their injury. A white hat hacker finds a young man starting to get involved in disturbing sexual content and finds him the help he needs to go on and live a healthy life. In a country on the brink of civil war, the youth distract themselves with a Sims-like VR game where you inhabit your sim. Now, face to face, they talk out their real problems and find out they are not so different. They work out their differences, then talk to their parents and neighbors and invite them to play the game. The in-game world becomes such a utopian reflection of the real world. The philosphere is spread and the war is averted. An episode wherein a super powerful dating app runs 1000 simulations with your person of interest to determine how much of match you two are for one another. Oh wait. I liked it because it was a happy episode, but with fed up implications. A woman brings in a damaged SD card and a tech goes out of his way to recover the information from it. She discovers lost pictures of her deceased son from his last vacation. The tech then shows her how to set these pictures as the screensaver of her computer so she can see them every day. Sometimes she just starts her computer, makes a pot of tea, and watches her screensaver for an hour, inspired by a true story. About a man who clicked a find singles in your area banner, found a single, and fell in love. Cute to Ted Blonde got married and has kids. There is a documentary about a kid who is autistic, and he has found a true friend in Siri. Most other kids and adults don't have the patience for his constant question asking, and his lack of social awareness means he often comes off as rude or offensive. But Soro has unlimited patience with him. If he says something rude, she tells him off with a programmed response. Siri doesn't completely replace human interaction for him, but she does provide him with a constant companion that actually helps him to improve his social skills. A transgender person trapped in a religious hellhole finds that they are not alone and there are others like them. A kid is born disabled and kinda mentally handicapped to a poor single mother in Alabama. Despite his mental, physical and social shortcomings, he becomes a football star, a war hero, a ping pong champion, a shrimp magnate, and a guy who runs back and forth across the country. Do you realize it's called Black Mirror because when the screen is off it's black and reflective? Like and subscribe for good luck, you handsome gentleman.